We don't have an apex body of the apex tribal youth bodies in Nagaland. All of you gathered here. If it is your opinion and if you can give a mandate that the Naga youth bodies, the tribal youth bodies should come together to raise a united voice, and can you raise your right hand? Today, this AYO cannot initiate, but we will bring all the tribal youth bodies for a discussion to carry on. The memorandum Office of the Angami Youth Organization, Headquarters, Kohima, Nagaland. Memorandum against unabated extortion and harassment of common people by Naga national political groups. Submitted on this day, the 6th of August 2024. Public rally organized by the Angami Youth Organization. To the Honorable Governor, Rajbhavan, Kohima, Nagaland. Honorable Sir, we are sure that you are briefed by various agencies at your disposal and also through the news about the illegal activities being committed blatantly by armed groups in Nagaland, much to the dismay of the general populace. The most recent case being the capital punishment threat issued to a local contractor of Nagaland on account of forced taxation by the GPR and Anansian Kangu group, who are currently under ceasefire with the government of India. This case is just a tip of the iceberg, as there are many such cases which have not been brought into the public domain. Taking this opportunity, we would like to lay a few points for your perusal and immediate remedial measures. Point number 1. Whereas it is clearly mentioned in the ceasefire ground rules mutually agreed upon by the government of India and the various groups of the Anansian that the latter shall refrain from any activity which would disturb economic and developmental activities as well as essential services. Clause 7 of ceasefire ground rules. Number 2. Whereas it has been mutually agreed upon by the government of India and the various NSCN groups which are in ceasefire agreement with the center that the groups will refrain from extortions, forcible collection of money, and supplies of intimidation of individuals, including government officials. Clause 11 of the ceasefire ground rules. Whereas, number 3, whereas the onus of enforcement of the ground rules has been vested with the government of India, and that contentious issues relating to implementation of the ground rules will be resolved by a ceasefire supervisory board or ceasefire monitoring group. Point number 4. Whereas there may be cessation of armed conflicts between security forces and the Naga national political groups. After signing of these agreements, extortion and forcible collection of money from all business enterprises have been carried out with impunity, and the public is facing the brunt with prices of even essential commodities skyrocketing. Number 5. Whereas the GPR and Anansian Kangu group has gone to the extent of even issuing death penalty for not succumbing to their illegal demands. Number 6. The GPR and Anansian Kangu group has also issued a directive to all contractors under the purview of AYO, implying all Angami contractors to immediately cease activities and demobilize their manpower and machinery currently deployed across other districts in Nagaland. Number 7. Now, whereas the public is utterly fed up with the activities of these armed cadres, it may not be long before an armed public take on these armed cadres, resulting in a civil unrest which will have worse implications and results than that of the prevailing situation in a neighboring state. We, the signatories of this memorandum, keeping in mind the interests of the state and the country as a whole, demand that A. The government of India strictly enforces the ceasefire ground rules in letter and spirit by ensuring the cadres of the groups adhere to the agreed ground rules. B. The state government takes necessary action to protect its citizens and assert its authority if any such acts of coercion takes place. C. The government should ensure that armed groups cease and desist immediately their activities of intimidation and extortion in the name or guise of donations. D. The armed cadres be confined to their designated camps and prohibited to move around with arms in civilian areas. E. The government of India should stop legitimizing splinter groups by recognizing them if it wants an early settlement of the Indo-Naga problem. F. The international abrogation of the ceasefire rules by the GPR and Congo group by way of issuing that threat and openly intimidating the common people is not only a violation of the ceasefire norms, but also a violation of human rights. We demand that the ceasefire monitoring group immediately take befitting action against this group if it fails to take corrective measures. By point number 1 of the demand in F, that 1. Withdrawal of the capital punishment issued by GPR and NNC Congo Group. 2. Withdrawal of the directive issued to all contractors under the purview of AYO, implying all Angami contractors to cease activities and demobilize their manpower and machinery currently deployed across other districts in Nagaland. And G. In the event of any recalcitrant group continue violating the ceasefire ground rules, the ceasefire monitoring group should abrogate the ceasefire with such group. Also, the concerned members should be strictly booked under the National Security Act of 1980. The Angami Youth Organization is a civil organization, but we will not hesitate to protect our people at any cost. However, we firmly believe in the responsibility of the government to protect the well-being of its citizens, and we trust that the government will take all necessary actions. We therefore urge you to consider our representation with the utmost importance and urgency. Sincerely, Kasosol Christopher Lutu, President Angami Youth Organization, and Nidil Hitio Secher, General Secretary Angami Youth Organization. Copy to the Home Minister Nagaland for information and necessary action, the Chief Secretary for information, the Principal Secretary to Honorable Chief Minister for kind intervention, the Director General of Police for necessary information and intervention, the Home Commissioner for necessary action, and the Chairman, CFMG or CFSB for immediate intervention. The copy will be submitted to be forwarded, shared with the media persons right after we submit it. So thank you, likewise thank you everybody once again for having come here to be part of this historic public rally. We assure you that this is not the end, but this is going to be the beginning of a brighter Naga future. Thank you, Kutnavi.
We are the change.
All the delegates once. Tribal Affairs will have a photography session. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, together we can achieve greatness and a peaceful Nagaland. Thank you so much for turning up. With that, we formally wind up this public rally. Here